Hey guys, welcome back to the DeeTimeLove show, and today we have another episode of Real Watch Talk. I'm your host Dimitri at the DeeTimeLove channel, and those of you that follow me, you know a lot of my Real Watch Talk is based on my Q&A, and today's topic is Patek Philippe discriminating potential customers. And before we go into the topic in hand, let's do a quick wristwatch check to see what I'm sporting. And I am sporting my Tudor Chrono Blue Monte Carlo. This was my holiday romance for 2018, a summer romance that has continued into autumn, I have to say. I love this Tudor Monte Carlo. It is absolutely stunning, I have to say, guys. Look at that. One of my favorite types, if not my favorite in my collection. Very cool indeed. But let's get into the subject matter in hand. And I was in a Patek Philippe boutique in the city of London. I commissioned them to sell one of my timepieces, and we did discuss the application form, and he was very brief and very vague in terms of why they do the actual application form. If anything, he didn't give much information away, just in case probably I was recording or so and so. But I am a customer of theirs that I've commissioned to sell a Patek Philippe 5711R. And look guys, I'll be straight up. Yes, Patek Philippe do have an application form for their premium timepieces. Now, I'm assuming it's all got to come down to perceived image. Now, Patek Philippe are perceived as one of the most luxurious Swiss watch brands in the world, okay? They are the pinnacle, they are the Bugatti of the luxury watch world. Now, Patek Philippe need no introduction. I'm not going to waste your time by talking about their history as such, but Patek Philippe watches in general are worn by the elite, people who are CEOs, managing directors. There's so many people in the recruitment industry, especially in executive search, consultancy in the industry that I specialize in. There's so many guys wearing Patek Philippe's. Yes, Rolex, of course, but they're really big players. It really is a real status symbol seeing a Patek Philippe, especially one of the more premium ones. Not talking about, you know, even a Nautilus. We're talking about their ultra high-end pieces. And they have got a certain image to uphold. And yes, one guy wrote me an email to the channel saying, is it true that so-and-so rapper, I won't mention his name, went into a Patek Philippe boutique in the US and was asked 100 million questions and gave him an application form to fill out. He left in a huff and a puff, and they had to call security to remove him from that Patek Philippe boutique. Now, I think probably the strategy is they've probably been prepped, and, you know, I think part of the training program at Patek Philippe in their boutiques is to make sure the people that are buying those watches are people that are going to uphold the brand's image, for example. And I think Patek Philippe don't want some sort of hardcore gangster rapper being like an ambassador for their watch brand. Now, Patek Philippe, you know, their application process reminds me of an interview process maybe 20, 30 years ago, where it has to be done in paper form and so on. It gets sent off to be reviewed, and off the back of that, you have to wait a couple of weeks, I've been told, and they will let you know their final answer. So they ask you questions about whether you've owned Patek Philippe's before, you know, how much you earn, what sector you work on, and so on, and where you live. You know, there's a lot of questions, and I'll be honest with you, do I think it's politically correct? Probably not. If you've got the money, in this day and age, you should have the right to buy whatever product you want in this world, in my opinion, you know. And yes, it is discrimination, to be honest with you. And in the recruitment world, you wouldn't get away with doing something like that, for example. But, you know, for example, if you walk into a shopping mall, for example, and you're not very well dressed, they will probably try and walk you out, you know. But you never know, you know, never judge a book by its cover, for example. You know, a lot of these rappers, you know, if you look a little bit deeper, some of these guys are really well educated, you know, at the end of the day. They're, you know, they've got an image that might hold for their record label. Yes, they may come across as gangster, flow, whatever, you know, their perceived images. However, maybe they are genuine watch enthusiasts, you know, and it's pretty shocking to hear stories like this in this day and age, because let's say he was to walk into a Bentley showroom or Rolls Royce, for example, I'm sure they would let him buy the car in cash, sorry. So I don't see why Patek Philippe is still doing this, but I can see, yes, maybe they want to keep the brand as clean and as prestige as they can, you know, because Patek Philippe really dominates the high-end business world, you know, of senior, you know, high-net individuals, you know, economic status A+, you know, A-star, people who are the elite people in their organisations tend to treat themselves to a Patek Philippe. And as you go down, you know, the Rolex really does filter out the rest. But yes, it does exist, guys. There is an application form, I'm afraid. And yes, I believe they do discriminate to uphold and protect the brand's image. But, you know, you can always get the watch on a grey market, you know, as well. So I suggest to people, if that's ever happened to you for whatever reason, they didn't quite like the look of you, then maybe look at the grey sellers. You know, there's got Patek Philippe sold online. Whether you want to take the risk is up to you. But yes, they do discriminate, I believe, guys. And yes, it is true. So, but look, I could be wrong. You know, it might be just a made up conspiracy, as there are so many things going on in the internet. You cannot believe everything you read on the internet. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's little real watch talk, and I'll catch you in the next video. And by the way, if you like the content, don't forget to press that little bell, like and subscribe. I've got a lot of more real watch talk coming to the channel soon. Take care, guys. See you in the next video.